してんです。
何って、エッチじゃないの？
え？
てか、したくないの？
そうじゃないけど、ちょっと早すぎない？さっきまで俺の名前も知らなかったんだよね。
Boys and girls. Our dating story, the experienced you and the inexperienced me. Should you watch it? So here's where I'm having trouble on. I'm as hot on this anime as I am cold. And there's enough reasons to watch the show as there is to not watch the show, okay? I didn't dislike this episode. I thought okay. Episode 1 needs to be the studio. This is Kadokawa's, right? Yes, this is Kadokawa, right? So this needs to be the best representation of what the show can be. And I think for the most part, it was that. But what we receive from that may or may not resonate with you. And I can see people hating this, and I can see people loving this show. And I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, I really do think that outside of EP1, I do think we need to watch 1, 2, give it that 3-episode rule, potentially. But if we were to kind of really recommend on its merits of EP1, I really think this is a show that we allow to stack up a little bit, and then maybe we watch, when I say we, I mean, whenever you have time, I think this might be a show that you or I watch, episode 2 to 5 or something, and then really decide, am I going to watch it? Am I going to drop it? You know what I mean? Allow 4 or 5 weeks to pass us. Talk sometime in December, we come back, and on a Saturday night, a Friday evening, like today, Sunday, we come watch, a few episodes, and we're like, okay, I love it or I hate it. You know what I mean? I really think it's that, because here's the thing. What I really like about the show is the premise. And I think a lot of people are just going to instantly get so rubbed the wrong way or so turned off from the show because of the premise, right? Virgin guy meets whore girl. That's really there's no sugarcoating this, right? It's virgin dude who, never had a girlfriend or girlfriends, right? Just platonic friends. Never had female friends, never had a girlfriend, never had sex. So virgin guy meets the Gyopo, whatever they call these girls. I don't even know what the hell I'm like. Gyopo something else, whatever. But whatever they call these specific girls in Japan. But you have this girl who is more of the bubblegum pop type girl who sleeps around, and she kind of gets around. And this is part of one of those stories where it's I can change her kind of thing. But this is really kind of flipped as her being this bubblegum pop person will actually change him. And it's either you're going to like that or not. Now, when some other anime have done this, like My Girlfriend's a Show Bitch or whatever, there's other animes that I'm trying to think of in the moment, but it's in the heat of the moment, so I'm going to let those names go. But there's other shows that have done a similar thing with not so popular guy or virgin dude and this type of bubblegum pop type girl. And what ends up happening most with these bubblegum types is that they present themselves this way. They are that way, but they're actually virgins themselves, kind of thing. They've never gone that far. In this case, this is a little bit different up to the scenario because we learned in EP1, right? We learned episode 1. She actually does sleep around, so she's very easy in a sense, and he didn't take that first leap, to sleep with her. Now, I do think still, I think that was a big, in thinking of the show and reasons we may not want to watch it is I really do think that was a big miss. Because what ends up happening in real life, right? And if I'm going to write a story or whatever in real life, him not sleeping with this girl, on the first opportunity is he's going to have this inadequacy vibe. And I can see the writing on the wall for the show to be written that way of every time he continues to say no or has a chance, he's always going to think about that first time and always think about the guys who came before him. Literally, and like, you know, like literally came before him. And I don't know if I want to stick around for the funny, because typically I don't find that funny, those kinds of like things when they're thinking about the guy who came before them. Now, you know, when you're writing this, right, when the author is, you know, writing the story, the reality of it is that's human nature. You're thinking of, you know, if your partner has a past, even if it's a small past, 1, 2 guys, 1, 2 girls before you, you know, even if it's a small normal, you know, like not this like, you know, big number, even if it's just like a normal, they've had a couple of partners before you kind of thing, you know, it's human nature to think about the person who came before, usually the immediate one. But in his case, right, there's going to be like, you know, she was in what the context of the story is giving us is she's been swapping every 2-3 months. So every 90 days she re-ups on somebody. So, you know, let's say she started maybe, you know, maybe they're in, I don't even know what year they are in. They didn't cover it, but let's say they're sophomores, right? Let's say they're second years. Let's say she started in first year. He knows that there's at least 5 to 6 dudes before him. So he's going to have this constant thought. And again, as you're writing it, human nature, realism, you know, but it comes off as like this comedic sense that doesn't always hit. And again, that's why I think that I'm probably not going to go past episode 1. I think I'll stop by later on and I'll watch the show. Now, on the opposite side, let's stop being negative. Let's be positive. Like I said, I'm hot and cold on it. I think my personal view on this one is I'm not going to watch past EP1. Should you watch it? Well, again, I'm not going to fully say yes. I'm not going to fully say no. I'm just going to say me, no. I don't think I should watch this past EP1. I think maybe I'm going to stop by later on, end of the season, maybe mid-season. I'll watch this, you know, down the line. Maybe if it gets a dub, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be dope if it gets a dub, and then I'll definitely watch it. But like, reasons you should watch it is, I think the reverse parody here, or the reverse storyline of Virgin Guy meets the bubblegum pop, you know, Easy Girl. Easy Girl, because of the way she views the world, and she's kind of innocent in a way. You know, I think it's going to really get him out of his virgin shell. And I think that this episode, you know, he had the stutter, you know what I mean? Which I hate, by the way. But, you know, I think that eventually he'll get out of it, and, you know, they'll text more, and maybe they'll FaceTime more, and they'll hold hands in public, and maybe they'll go to kissing. And maybe the season ends with him finally, you know, rumping socks or something. You know, hopefully they get to that point if they know there's a huge effing miss. But, you know, eventually they get to that point. But then what you're going to be able to see from episode 1 through 12 is that growth of our main character of this show, starting with stuttering virgin boy who, you know, with one fat friend and another weird short kid, all the way to maybe having some, you know, more friends, maybe even a few girlfriends, maybe this girl's friends become friends with him, and then you're going to see him, you know, come out of his shell, talk more, maybe be a little cooler, be viewed different. So I think we're going to see that growth. At least that's what I'm getting from the vibes of this. So should you watch it? Really up to you. I think the art, the ending, ED cool, music's cool, theme's cool, animation's really, really good. I love her design, love the main character's design, the girl. Love her design. Like the premise. So it's like, should you watch it? Yeah. If you vibed with it, yeah, I think you watch it. I think you unapologetically watch it. And I think if you didn't vibe EP1, or if you're kind of like me, I think it's either we just let it go or come back at some point. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts of our dating story in the comments below. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace out, fam.